Very good afternoon. Namaskar. Today is 23rd April, Thursday. How are you all, dear students? So now today, since we have already dealt with the different aspects of the structure of bacteria, that is the surface appendages, which you all very well know what are the surface appendages, flagella, fimbria and pili, and I think I have dealt in the earlier lectures and this is completed now. Today we will discuss cell envelope as well as cytoplasmic organelles. Okay. So what is a cell envelope? You all know it is cytoplasmic membrane consisting of all this cell wall, then capsule or slime layer, and then cytoplasmic organelles. You all very well know what are those. Four plasmid, ribosomes, mesosomes, storage granules and other inclusions, cytoplasm, periplasm. So all this we will be studying now in this chapter in the fall. Now what is basically the cell envelope actually? So we know very well what is cytoplasm. Now this cytoplasm, it is surrounded and contained by the cell envelope. Now this cell envelope, it can be as simple as a single membrane which we see in Mycoplasma and L-form bacteria. Usually the cell envelope, it is a multi-layer structure and this is composed of the cytoplasmic membrane, a cell wall and one or more layers which are exterior to the bacterial cell wall. The cell envelope, it is a primary means for identifying and classifying bacteria on the basis of the staining. I think you have studied in UG also, in PG also, that how we can distinguish the different bacteria based on the staining. Now who has done this? Now this particular work has been done by Dr. Christian Gram, a Danish microbiologist nearly a century ago, who gave this technology, a technique about the Gram staining of the bacteria. Now it is called the Gram stain. Bacteria fall into three general categories: Gram positive, Gram negative and acid fast bacteria. Now the envelopes of the Gram positive organisms, they are composed of a cytoplasmic membrane which is surrounded by a thick cell wall containing what? Teichoic, teichuronic and lipoteichoic acids. In Gram positive organisms, it is what? The cell wall forms the exterior of the organism. The Gram negative bacteria have a cytoplasmic membrane, a thin cell wall and a second membrane, the outer membrane, that forms the exterior of the cell. Acid fast bacteria have a cytoplasmic membrane, a thin cell wall and a thick exterior lipid layer. This unusual lipid layer is composed of mycolic acids, waxes and other glycolipids. It makes these bacteria impermeable to many substances, notably antibiotics. So the bacteria actually they produce and they are loosely associated with the polysaccharide capsule, and that is another part of the bacteria outside the bacterial cell, and which is called as also known as glycocalyx, made of the, it is seen in the light microscopy and you can see it is a capsule or slime layer we say. So this is, it can be easily seen in the light microscopy as a large non-staining region which is surrounding the cell when they are placed in the colloidal suspension such as India ink. Now we will be dealing further the detail of the cell envelope. So now continuing, we are talking about the cell envelope. What is a cell envelope? We have already known what is a cell envelope. We have discussed the introduction of the cell envelope. Now can you just have a look at this, the schematic drawing of a typical bacterial cell. So here it is, we are seeing that how the different layers of the bacterial cell wall, and so we can see it is a capsule layer, this is the cell wall, this is a cytoplasmic membrane, this is a periplasmic space, this is a mesosome, now this is a pilus, and then this is a you all know this is a cytoplasm. Okay, then these are the actually SPI, these are the six pilus or the fimbrium. Okay, now this is PG is the polyphosphate granules. Hope it is visible. Then mesosome, genophore or chromosomes, ribosomes, plasmid. Okay, all of them are then polyphosphate granules, which are also known as the storage material. So this is the typical bacterial cell where all the features are available. Now this we will be discussing will be discussing in the various parts of the membrane of the cell envelope. Now first is the cytoplasmic membrane. What is the cytoplasmic membrane? Actually it's a very important part of the bacteria, and since it is a structurally similar to the unit membrane of eukaryotes, actually it is quite similar to the unit membrane of the eukaryotes, and if we disrupt this cytoplasmic membrane, it will result in the cell death actually, and therefore it is essential for the survival of the cell. So you know why cytoplasmic membrane is important. Cytoplasmic membrane is important first of all that it is similar to the structural unit membrane of the eukaryotes. And then similar means like bacteria is also having a cytoplasmic membrane. Then second, it is like this, that if it is disrupted, then there will be cell death. So it is essential for the cell survival. Now another important model which has been discussed by Singer and Nicholson, that they say that the membrane can be described as a fluid mosaic model, and this fluid mosaic model, keeping in view of the fact that the fluid of phospholipids in which the protein molecules floats, it is like a mosaic. This fluid of the phospholipids, they float like a mosaic. So it is known as a fluid mosaic model, which has been described by Singer and Nicholson. Now this elastic membrane or this cytoplasmic membrane, it is composed of lipids and proteins. The lipids are around 60 to 70%, and the proteins are about the 30 to 40%. Now the thickness of this cytoplasmic membrane is around 8 nanometer, and it may be somewhere it has also been talked about is around 2 to 4 nanometer or 4 nanometer. Now this membrane, it is consisting of the bilayers of the phospholipids. Now this phospholayers, each layer is about 2 to 4 nanometer thick, and the two layers is spaced by about 3 to 5 nanometer gap. Now this is visible in plate number 10, which I will show you further. The polar head of the phospholipids, or I can this polar head of the phospholipids, they are oriented towards the outer surface of the bilayers, while hydrophobic ends are in the inner surface. Now we can come first to the plate number 10. I think that will be very good for you all to understand that what I am speaking exactly. So now this is the, if you can see that this is the schematic presentation of the cell wall compositions of the gram positive and the gram negative cell wall. So you can see here that how it is looking, this lipoic acid and all the linkages and the peptides and this thing. So now if you say that cytoplasmic membrane, now if it is if we discuss the polar head of the phospholipids, now I can show you here. If you see these figures, this is the lipopolysaccharide, and this is a 0 side chain, and 2 is equal to this. This is the core, and this is the lipid A. This phospholipid is 4. 4 is what? Polar head, and this is 5 is what? Hydrophobic fatty acid chain, and 6 is what? Lipid moiety, and 7 is the protein moiety. Now lipopolysaccharide, we can see here. This is the lipopolysaccharide chain. Now phospholipid. Now I will show you where is the phospholipid, which is, these are the phospholipids. So the ends are here facing to each other. Then lipoprotein. Lipoprotein are this, which is having the lipid moiety, and the 7, that is the protein moiety. Now this is the, actually you can very well understand that how it is looking like. Now it is very easy for you all to understand the diagrammatic presentations. I again come back to the description about the cytoplasmic membrane. Now you have understood the diagram. Now this diagram, this clearly shows that the membranes, that the major classes of this membrane proteins, they are permeases, then biosynthetic enzymes. They are containing the 50% proteins, 25% lipids, and 25% carbohydrates. Unlike eukaryotes, these bacterial membrane, they consist of saturated or monosaturated fatty acids, and they do not normally contain sterols. The membranes of archaea form phospholipid bilayers functionally, which is equivalent to bacterial membranes. But archaeal lipids, they are different from them. They are what? Saturated branched, then repeating isoprenoid subunits that attach to glycerol via an ether linkage, as opposed to the ester linkage which is found in the glycerides of the eukaryotic and bacterial membrane lipids. In gram-positive bacteria, the cytoplasmic membrane contains lipoteichoic and then glycolipid and phosphatidyl glycolipid. Now, if as already explained here, I have already explained that what is the function of this. The cytoplasmic, it acts as a permeability barrier. Then it contains different transport systems. Cytoplasmic harbors the electron transport system. It couples very easily with the aerobic respiration and ATP synthesis. Then it has the photosynthetic chromophores that harvest the light energy. That means they convert from the chemical energy, and they are located in the membrane. Then cytoplasmic membrane is the site of the oxidative phosphorylation, and photophosphorylation as in prokaryotes. So it is analogous to the functions of the mitochondria and chloroplast in eukaryotic cell. Now coming to the cell wall of the bacteria. Cell wall of the bacteria is a very important aspect, and I think this is the main feature which we all should understand, that the cell wall of bacteria, it consists of the peptidoglycan or murine. The cell wall of bacteria, it consists of peptidoglycan or murine. This murine is a substance unique in nature to the bacterial cell walls. This murine layer, if you see, it has two types of amino sugars: N-acetyl muramic acid, NAM or MA, and N-acetyl glucose, that is NAG or GA. So you can see here NAG, NAM, NAG, NAM. Okay, and then it is attached to the 4 amino acid sugars. Such type of NAM, NAG, NAM, NAM, they are linked through beta-1,4 glucosidic linkage. Okay, this NAM, NAG, NAM, NAG, which are present alternatively, how they are linked? They are linked through this linkage. That is, it is known by beta-1,4 glucosidic linkage. Now there are 10 to 65 disaccharide units in a single murine strands. Now this NAM amino sugar, its unit contains a short peptide side chain of 4 amino acids. Okay, the most common sequence of the amino acids is L-alanine, D-glutamic acid, and mesodiamino acid, which is also known as lysine, diaminopimelic acid, diaminobutyric acid or ornithine, and D-alanine. The two adjacent murine strands is cross-linked through peptide bonds, which is established between the peptide side chains of NAM units. There are two different types of cross-linkage which are found in murine layers. Based on the linkage pattern, the murine is of two types: murine A and murine B. In murine A, the 3,4 linkage is directly established between the, now this we can see here. Now in murine A, we see that this D-alanine, this is directly linked with M-diaminopimelic acid. This is the murine A. Now when we are coming to the murine B, it is here, it is different. Here we see that D-glutamic acid, that is at the number 2, it is getting attached with D-alanine through diamino acid, that is lysine, ornithine, diaminobutyric acid. Okay, so here are the linkages which differentiate between the murine A and murine B. Now this cross linking you have understood very well, I think. Now that this 2,4 cross linkage in murine B between the alpha carboxyl group of glutamic acid and C-terminal alanine, it is connected by interpeptide bridge. It is connected with what? Interpeptide bridge, which is namely with connecting a diamino acid, namely lysine or ornithine or diaminobutyric acid. Now what is the difference between the two, that is gram positive and gram negative? In the gram positive bacteria, this murine, it is multi-layered and thick. In gram negative bacteria, the cell wall murine is mono or oligo-layered, relatively thin, and is surrounded by a membranous structure called the outer membrane. This outer membrane of gram negative bacteria invariably contains a unique component which is known as lipopolysaccharide. The structural details of cell wall in gram positive and gram negative is given in plate 10, which I have already discussed, and now you can see the table 6. Here you can see the differences. We can discuss the differences. What are the difference between the gram positive and gram negative? If you see the thickness of murine, in gram positive it is 100 Armstrong, and in gram negative it is 25 to 30 Armstrong. In proportion of murine to the cell wall composition, it is more than 80%, and here it is 10%. Number of murine layers, multi-layered, and in gram negative, monolayered. Lipoteichoic acid, it is present in gram positive, but it is absent in gram negative. The number of unit membrane in surface layer, here it is 1, and here it is 2, inner and outer. Now periplasmic space, lipoprotein, lipopolysaccharide, and porine in outer membrane is absent in gram positive but present in gram negative. And glycolipid present in gram positive and absent in gram negative. Number of rings in gram positive 2 and 4 in gram negative. Now there is another portion which is very important, that is capsule or slime layer. So what is capsule or slime layer? Most bacteria actually consist of this capsule or contains some sort of a polysaccharide layer which is outside the cell wall or outer membrane. In a general sense, this layer is also called a capsule. Now capsule, this is a polysaccharide layer. What is a capsule? It is a polysaccharide. When uniformly distributed, it surrounds a cell, and when unevenly distributed, it is called the slime layer. So what is the difference? If it is uniformly distributed, then it is known as capsule, and if it is unevenly distributed, it is called the slime layer. And actually it comes under the term glycocalyx, which is a polysaccharide, which can be termed as a polysaccharide and protein film that surrounds the bacterial cell. It may be found surrounding individual cells or colonies. It may also form a part of the complex organization of the bacterial biofilms. So this actually capsule and slime layer, they are the part of the glycocalyx. Now as I have already said that this is we can also say that these capsule layers, they are made mainly composed of a material which is made of an arrangement of a polysaccharide chains that also forms a hydrated polysaccharide gel on the cell surface. Now this thickness, it depends upon the genetic and the environmental factors. Now the capsule allows for the diffusion of small molecules but can exclude bacteriophages, protect against phagocytosis or binding of host mediated antibiotics, and in some strains encapsulation may be associated with the virulence. Now coming to the S layers, that is the slime layer, which we have already understood what is a slime layer. It is another which are found in the many types of bacteria, mainly gram positive and gram negative, cyanobacteria and archaea. And this slime layer, actually it is composed of crystalline arrays of protein or glycoprotein subunits. In gram positive organisms, the slime layer lies on the outer surface of the peptidoglycan layer. It lies outside the peptidoglycan layer, whereas in gram negative bacteria, this slime layer is present on the outer surface of the outer membrane. It is probable that the main functions of the slime layer are to protect the bacterial cell from hostile external environments, and it also acts as a permeability barrier to the macromolecules. Okay. Now third portion is cytoplasmic organelles. So what is a genophore? It is a bacterial chromosome, and you all know very well, it's typically one large circular large molecule of DNA, more or less free in the cytoplasm, although intermittently it is associated with the membranes. It has one linkage group. The DNA is not associated with protein histones, unlike eukaryotic chromosome, but small polyamines like spermidine may be associated with prokaryotic DNA. What is the function of genophore? This double helix DNA, it will carry all the genetic information which is necessary to specify the entire essential properties of the prokaryotic cell. Now another part is plasmid. So please, these are all very important. They may come as small notes, definitions also, and notes also. What is a plasmid? In addition to a genophore, there is a large number of bacteria which are containing some extra chromosomal circular DNA, which is known as plasmids. They autonomously replicate within the bacterial cell. And plasmid imparts various important properties to the bacterial cell, like antibiotic resistance, resistant to bacteriocin, then production of certain auxins, enzyme. Besides, the plasmid determine sex or F factor. Then comes to ribosomes. These are the distinct granular appearance of prokaryotic cytoplasm, which are due to the presence and distribution of ribosomes. The ribosomes of prokaryotes are smaller than cytoplasmic ribosomes of eukaryotes. Prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S in size, being composed of 30S and 50S subunits. The 80S ribosomes of eukaryotes consists of 2 subunits, 40S and 60S subunits. So the total DNA content of bacterial cell is referred as a total genomic DNA. What is the function of ribosome? They are involved in the process of translation. Protein synthesis using bacterial 70S ribosomes occur in eukaryotic mitochondria and chloroplast. Thus, it constitutes a major line of evidence that these organelles are descended from the bacteria. Now coming to mesosomes. This is what is mesosome? It is an inward protrusion of plasma membrane. Okay, it is just like an open vesicular-like structure, consists of a single unit membrane, unlike eukaryotic mitochondria. What is the function? It forms the site for cell respiration and energy production, plays a specific role in the septum formation when during cell division. Okay. Then it also acts as a control center for orderly cell division. It serves as an organ of attachment. It functions as an intercellular transport. So this is the different functions. Now what is the various types of storage granules and other inclusions? What are those things? So some of the storage granules which are contained in the cells, they actually behave as a reserve material. So it is to store food materials for energy production. For example, carbon and energy reserves may be stored as glycogen, or a poly-beta hydroxybutyric acid. It is a type of fat granule. Then polyphosphatic inclusions, they are reserves of phosphates and possible energy. Then elemental sulfur globules, they are stored by some phototrophic and some lithotrophic prokaryotes, which reserves as they actually is reserved as a energy reserve, and they are the as a reserve of energy or electrons. Now these inclusion bodies are actually membranous vesicles or intrusions into the cytoplasm, which contain photosynthetic pigments or specialized enzyme complex. Now we come to the another part of this cell wall and cell envelopes chapter, that is cell wall based grouping of bacteria, which is attributed through Gram staining. We'll just revise the Gram staining methodology, how Gram staining can help us to distinguish between the Gram positive and Gram negative group, which we can differentiate by coloring these cells, because Gram positive will take the violet color and the Gram negative will take the red color. Okay, and so Gram positive bacteria, why does it retains this crystal violet color? It is because this crystal violet, which is used as a primary stain, it is absorbed due to the presence of a thick layer of peptidoglycan in the cell walls, while Gram negative bacteria, which is having a thinner peptidoglycan in the cell wall, does not retain the crystal violet during the decolorizing process and it stains red. Now what are the protocol for the Gram staining? We need a 24 to 48 hour old culture. Then we of course, as general small equipments like slides, light microscope, glass rods, cotton, tap water, powder, blotting sheets. Then we need Hooker's crystal violet solution, safranin, 95% alcohol and iodine solution. Okay, now we can prepare two solutions. Hooker's crystal violet solution, the Hooker's crystal violet solution A is very well known. Crystal violet 2 gram, alcohol 95%, 20 ml. Solution B, ammonium oxalate 0.8 gram, distilled water 80 milliliter. And these two solutions A and B needs to be mixed and A and B before use. Now gram iodine solution, how it is prepared? If we take 1 gram of iodine, take 2 gram of potassium iodide and mix it in the 300 ml of water. Dissolve the first two ingredients in the water with pestle and mortar. Then safranin solution, it is prepared by dissolving 0.5 gram of safranin in that 100 ml of the distilled water. Now the protocol is very easy. We need to make the slides grease free, then should be coated with a thin layer of Vim powder paste on both sides, and after a few minutes of partial drying, the coating needs to be removed with repeated drumming 2-3 times with the cotton swab. Take a loopful of the test organism on one end of the slide, then you prepare a smear, and this smear can be prepared with another slide, and this you need to hold the second slide in such a way that it gradually moving under the slanting position to the other end at time, so it spreads very easily, and the loop can be spread very easily, and allow it to dry. Then gently heat it to fix the smear. You smear with the crystal violet for 1 minute, then rinse the slide under slow growing this running tap water for 2-3 seconds. Cover the smear with iodine and keep for 1 minute. फिर उसको रनिंग वाटर से आप उसको रिंस कीजिए, फिर उसको अप्लाई कर दीजिए डिकलराइजिंग एजेंट, दैट इज 95% इथाइल अल्कोहल एसीटोन ड्रॉप बाय डर until only faint violet color remains in the solvent. So rinse with water, cover the smear with safranin for 30 seconds. अब देखिए कि क्या होता है. फिर रिंस विथ वाटर एंड हॉट ब्लॉट ड्राई. आप देखेंगे ऑब्जर्व इसके ऑयल इमर्शन लेंस के साथ देखेंगे, जो ग्राम पॉजिटिव सेल्स होंगे वो पर्पल होंगे और जो ग्राम नेगेटिव होंगे वो रेड होगी. तो बड़ी सिंपल टेक्निक है और बहुत ही पुरानी टेक्निक है, एंड एवरीबडी नोज दिस. आई नो यू ऑल ऑल्सो नो. सो जस्ट टू रिवाइज, जस्ट वाज दिस जस्ट आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू शो अ चार्टर. एक्चुअली में ये सब इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं, कैसे है ना इनको डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर्स के बेसिस पे इनको डिफ्रेंशिएट किया जाता है. जैसे ग्राम नेगेटिव है, ग्राम पॉजिटिव है, ग्राम नेगेटिव और ग्राम पॉजिटिव के बीच में आगे केवल वही तो नहीं है, कुछ और कैरेक्टर्स भी होते हैं जिनसे कि हम डिफ्रेंशिएट कर सकते हैं कि आगे फर्दर कर सकते हैं. जैसे पहले तो अगर हमने ग्राम रिएक्शन देखा तो ग्राम रिएक्शन में प्लस आया, ग्राम पॉजिटिव जैसे हो गया. तो ग्राम पॉजिटिव में जैसे कौन से हो गए, बैसिलस हो गया, क्लाइवीबैक्टर है, क्लॉस्ट्रीडियम है, स्ट्रेप्टोमाइसिन है. इधर हम ग्राम रिएक्शन में देख रहे हैं एसिडोवोराक्स है, एग्रोबैक्टीरियम है, बर्कहोल्डेरिया है, एर्वीनिया है, पेंटोइया है, सीडोमोनास है, रैल्स्टोनिया है, जेंथोमोनास है, ज़ाइलोफाइलस है. ये तो अब हमने कैरेक्टर्स देखे हैं कि ग्राम रिएक्शन के बेसिस पे. आगे हम देखते हैं कि एनारोबिक, इसमें इस वाले में देखेंगे एनारोबिक ग्रोथ में, और इधर हम देख रहे हैं पहले एंडोस्पोर फॉर्मेशन में. तो एंडोस्पोर में बैसिलस है, क्लॉस्ट्रीडियम, और इधर ये है. तो इनके आधार पे इसको माइनस और प्लस किया. इधर एनारोबिक ग्रोथ के बेसिस पे इन सबको आपस में डिफ्रेंशिएट किया, पता चला एर्विनिया पेंटोइया पॉजिटिव टू द it is positive, and so it is growing on it is having the anaerobic growth. Then yellow on the YGCA, that is what is this, yeast, glucose, chloramphenicol, agar media. So erwinia minus and pentoia plus. फिर हम फ्लोरेसेंस देखते हैं डिफरेंट उसकी किंग्स बी मीडियम पे एसिडोवोराक्स, एग्रोबैक्टीरियम, बर्कहोल्डेरिया, रास्टोनिया, जेंथोमोनास, ज़ाइलोफाइलस, माइनस एंड प्लस इज सूडोमोनास. सिमिलरली इधर एरियल माइसीलियम देखा किसका, ये हम ग्राम पॉजिटिव बैक्टीरिया का देख रहे हैं, इधर ग्राम नेगेटिव बैक्टीरिया का देख रहे हैं. ठीक है, आप लोगों को ये ध्यान रखना चाहिए, यहाँ तो ग्राम पॉजिटिव है, यहाँ ग्राम नेगेटिव रिएक्शन है. इधर एरियल माइसीलियम हो रहा है इन दोनों में, इसमें नहीं है, क्लाइवीबैक्टर में नहीं है, स्ट्रेप्टोमाइसिन में है. एनारोबिक ग्रोथ प्लस क्लॉस्ट्रीडियम माइनस दिस थिंग. यहाँ पर येलो ऑन डिफरेंट मीडिया जो है, जो अभी बताया था, ईस्ट, ग्लूकोज, क्लोरोफेनिकल, अगर के मीडियम के बेसिस पे आगे इसको देखा कि किस पे ये येलो है. ये ग्रोथ ऑन, ये वाले ग्रोथ ऑन डिम, मतलब डिम है, डिंडोली मीथेन. ओके. सो दिस इज एसिडोवोराक्स, बर्कहोल्डेरिया, रास्टोनिया, ये एग्रोबैक्टीरियम है. यूरियस के टेस्ट है, ये डिफरेंट टेस्ट है, तो ये आप लोग को पता है बायोकेमिकल एंड इस सब पैरामीटर्स के बेसिस पे हम इसको कर सकते हैं. दिस इज जस्ट अ चार्टर टू शो यू हाउ टू डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन ऑल द दिस थिंग. थैंक यू वेरी मच. सो हैप्पी बेस्ट विशेस टू ऑल ऑफ यू. थैंक यू अगेन. Thank you very much. Now we are through with this chapter, and now we will be moving further for the other aspects of the bacterial plant bacteriology.